Hey guys, welcome back to another Roblox video tutorial. Today I am showing you how to make your own character inserter for your Roblox game. If you're wondering what that is, I have an example up on the screen. It's great for using stuff like animations. The only problem with this thing is that it's only usable on the server. So before we start putting in stuff, we need to have our own rig. So what we're going to do is, let's add in a screen GUI. Let's name it character inserter GUI. Now let's add in a frame. Let's name this character inserter. And let's customize this a little bit. Alright, here's the frame I made. Now the main two things we need to add is a text box. So let's customize this a little bit. Alright, here's the final result. What this text box is basically going to do is you're going to put in the username you want in there. So let's name this the username input. So now let's add in a text button, insert button. So when you click this button, it's going to apply the avatar to this player. And now if you want to add any other decoration, you can do that. Alright, so here's the final result. The main two things you need to have is a text box to put in the username and a submit button, which is basically just a text button to insert the character into what's this going to be. So now let's go into the character inserter. Let's add in a local script first. Let's name this character inserter client. But first, before we start scripting, let's go into replicated storage. Let's add in a folder, name this events. Now let's add in a remote event. We're going to name this character inserter event. Now let's start scripting the client side. Alright, so here's the final script. If you don't want to follow this, there is a script in the description. So now let's go into server script service and let's add in a script character inserter server. Now let's get to scripting, but it really isn't that long. Alright, this should be the final script for the server. I also forgot to add a line for the character inserter client. textBox.TextEditable equals true. We have to disable that so we can fire the server with the valid user. Okay, now let's test this out and see if it works. Alright, let's see. So first we're just going to put in my username, but you can use any username and not just some person in the server. So let's do 246ECH, insert. As you see, it loads in my character. So now let's put in one of my friends. Let's see how this works. Alright, here's her account right here. And now we can also put in like a famous YouTuber. So like let's do Creecraft. There we go. Now he's in the game sort of. And yeah, you can basically just do this with anybody. There's like no limitations. But you might be wondering what happens if you put in an invalid username. Let's do 7. 7 is not a valid Roblox account. So instead of putting out an error, it basically just puts out a warning you will find by pressing F9, just so it doesn't pop out an error or anything. Now if you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more tutorials, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.